What's up, Slay Gang? We're going to be doing these feeding braids from start to finish, so make sure you tune in with me. If you're not yet a member of the Slay Gang, then make sure you mash that subscribe button for me. And if you are a returning member, then welcome back to my channel. So this is how we're starting out. My client came with her hair wet, so I blow dried it for her. And of course, y'all know I'm going to be using the braid formula, which is my new favorite. And you can tell like she had a little bit of thinning on her edges, but no stress, y'all. I'm going to show you exactly what to do if you ever have a client whose hair might be a little thin on the perimeter. I'm going to give you tips about, what to do about that to prevent any further loss. So I have only done once, so this is her second time coming to me. And the first time I did her hair, her stitches came out so perfect, and I was like, why didn't I record? So I made sure this time I could record to show y'all how I do my feed-in braids, because like I said, hers came out so freaking nice. So she wanted to get off-centered braids, basically where the braids all meet at an angle on the side. So that's why I'm doing the parting like that. These are not going to be straight backs as you saw in the beginning. So basically now what I'm doing is just putting Shine and Jam on the part just to go ahead and define and clean up my partings, because it makes it have a crispier effect, as you can see right now. And then after I clean my partings, I like to go in with the braid product to smooth her hair down, to lay it down so it'll be nice and laid for the braid, so the stitches can be real nice. And y'all, this braid product is like unfreaking matched. Like I have been using this ever since like I discovered what it was. So what y'all can see that I'm doing right now is I'm leaving her edges out, because I'm not going to be pulling those. I'm going to just swoop those at the end. The key is to make sure that you're not putting the feed-in braid directly on the edge of the hair, because you don't want to be really tugging and pulling already if their hair is a little thin. Even if their hair isn't thin, you still don't want to start right at the edge of the hair. So that's why I'm just combing her edges back, because I don't want to braid directly on her edges. And you're going to see exactly where the braid will sit by how I'm combing it. That's basically how you can tell your braid placement. You just comb it into the place that you want your braid to sit. And what I like to do first is start with a little piece, and I braid that about 3 or 4 times, and then I add a small piece of hair in. Now with feed-ins, you got to make sure you're adding small pieces, and then you gradually just increase them. But I wouldn't increase with big chunks. As the video goes on, you are going to see how I lay my hair out on my braid rack. You're going to see how the pieces are looking on the braid rack. If you have any questions, feel free to comment. But basically, I'm just going to be doing the stitching method with the comb. So when I do this whole first braid, it's all going to be at regular speed, so you can see exactly what I'm doing, because I'll be doing this throughout the video. But I know I think like 3 of the braids are going to be in fast speed, so I just wanted to show it at regular speed at what I'm doing. When you're first starting out, you want the pieces to be really small, because you want the braid to be flat. The purpose of feed-ins is for it to have a natural appearance as if it was the client's real hair. Now when I used to do feed-ins back in the day, they used to be a little bulky, and that was because I was starting out gradually increasing the pieces at like an early stage of the braid, which you don't want to do. So you want to make sure your braids are nice and flat and they look natural. So basically at the top, I just make sure the pieces are nice and thin, and then that's when I start to let the pieces get bigger as I'm getting closer to the back, which you're going to see. I just wanted to give a further explanation just in case you were wondering. And as always, like I say, when you stitch, you want to just make sure you're only grabbing the piece that you've already parted into the braid. Don't grab anything else until you part it off. So that's what I'm doing right now, and that's what I'm just going to be doing throughout the video. But I wanted to show this one at a regular pace. This video is going to be a little long, but I'm giving you basically all the details of what I'm doing and how you can achieve this style. If you would like to know how to do like the off-centered braids, that's what I'm going to be doing here. So just stay tuned, trust the process, and yeah, rock with me, y'all. And if you're interested about the product that's on my wrist, it is my product called the Slay Band. It could be purchased on my website, SlayedByRayHairCo.square.site. I will have the link in the description box, and I'm also going to put it on the screen. So yeah, y'all just shop with me. We have new Slay Bands coming in. We also have 4 colors, so there's no longer just going to be purple. We're also adding new colors to the Slay Bands, which is pretty exciting. The colors are so beautiful, and I'm so ready to show them to y'all. But if you would like to purchase one, just make sure you are a member of the Slay Gang and subscribe to my channel, because I will be dropping a video showing the inventory of Slay Bands once they come in. And if you also want, like, you know, designer bonnets, I have those as well, and edge controls and all of that good stuff for y'all. So just make sure that you shop, and yeah, just stay tuned, y'all, because we have new Slay Bands coming. Now y'all see how I said don't braid directly on the edge. You see you can get a nice stitch effect, but you want to make sure you're just not directly pulling on the edges. Just in general, even if your client does not have thin hair, still do not braid directly on the edge. Make sure you're parting enough room for it to be enough room for the edges just to let them breathe. This is still a protective style, so you want to make sure that you're still protecting the client's hair. The goal is just to protect the hair and not to cause hair loss or, you know, cause even more damage that's already done. So yeah, just keep on doing this for every braid. And also, y'all see me using the Braid product to help tuck the hair. So what that does is the Braid product adds the slickness to the hair, so it's easier to tuck. And if you need to, you can use your comb to cover the client's real hair with the braid hair. But what I notice helps me a lot is just putting the Braid product on there first and then combing it to cover, and it'll still have that good tuck to it, but just adding the slickness to it is gonna give it that nice slick look. And then I also like to keep adding the hair to the bottom until I get it to the thickness that I desire. So once I feel that the braid is thick enough and it's not going to be too long, then that's when I stop braiding the hair. And that's when I stop adding the hair in and just braid the rest of the braid down, which I'm going to show y'all on camera. So just look at what I'm talking about right here. I'm still going to add the hair until I feel like it's enough, and then I'm just going to braid the rest of the braid down, and then to the next braid we go. Now I'm going to continue to part at that angle. So basically when you're doing this style, you want to make sure all the partings are meeting at one angle. So I don't know how to explain it. I'm trying to show the visual to y'all. Just make sure all the parts, all the beginning of the parts meet up, and you'll see as you're parting, like it should be forming like a little cute little angle. That's the best way that I can describe it. And like I said, make sure you're cleaning your parts and defining your parts with the Shine and Gem, or you can use the braid product as well. This is where I'm going to just go ahead and start showing it in fast speed. I also thought this was so satisfying to watch. Oh, also I used a total of 2 packs of the 3-in-1 of the pre-stretched outre hair to do this style. I know it's gonna get asked, but I'm gonna put it in the description box as well, so now y'all can see exactly what I mean when I say all of the parts should meet at an angle. So I went ahead and did the other side just so I can show y'all what I mean when I say that they should meet up at the angle. You're gonna see exactly how I start parting this one. It was literally meeting all together to form that desired look that I was going for. And I hope I explained it as good as I can to you. If you have any questions, as always, you can feel free to leave them in the comments, and I will try to answer it to my best ability. But yeah, this is what I mean when I say just part at an angle. And then I hope y'all can see how I got the hair on the braid rack. Like you can tell it's not like huge pieces, but some of the pieces in the back are like bigger, but they're not huge. They're just gradually bigger. And yeah, that's the key to it. Just make sure you're not adding like huge chunks, because you want the braid to flow together and get that nice uniform look. So yeah. Now I do this step if the client has spacing in between the braids in the back. So basically you start off in the middle of the last braid, and then you just go on pulling them through the sides and bringing them together to have that close look in the back. So you want to do this as high up as you can, but don't cause discomfort with your client. Just do it right there at the nape area, just to make them a little closer, so that way they won't be like flying up or flipping up. They'll stay right there and they'll stay uniform. And that's, you see me doing it, you can see that it's actually bringing the pieces together. So this will keep it from like bumping up in the back and doing all that after it's dipped. And it's also not going to be pulling on her hair because of the spaces. It's actually pulling it together to prevent all of that. So I seen this on Instagram. I can't remember who showed it originally, but I was like, wow, let me try that. And I tried it before, and I've just been doing it ever since whenever I notice people have spacing in the back. So try this, y'all, and I promise you it will change the way that you do feed-ins once you finish. Now when I lay her edges, I'm just going to be doing swoops. I'm not going to be doing like really dramatic baby hairs because I'm not a baby hair master, and that's not the look that I'm going for with this. And basically when I'm swooping the edges into her braid, I'm just using a stitch. So every time it's getting swooped, it's going in with a stitch. So that way the stitch look isn't going to get messed up. And y'all can see how nice and flat her braids are, which was what I was telling y'all about, starting off with the thin pieces. That's how you get the flatter, neater appearance. And that's what a lot of people like. They like the flat looking feed-in braids. They don't really like the bumpy ones. We're gonna leave the bumpy ones back in like what, 2016. It's 2021, so let's make sure we getting them nice and flat, y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope this video was helpful for you. I hope you enjoyed watching me do this style. I hope you like the style. If you haven't yet become a member of the Slay Gang, make sure you mash that subscribe button for me and rock with me, okay? I will see y'all in the next video, and I had so much fun putting this video together for y'all. We are on a road to 20K. Let's get it.